What's up, guys? Kelso here. Welcome to another MX Bikes video, and today we're going to be here at Super Coupe testing out a couple different gearing selections on what we could do to try to get faster in the sand. On top of that, maybe some tips and tricks on how we can make our bikes better in the sand instead of bouncing all around. I think Super Coupe is the best track out right now on MX Bike Shop to at least practice for Southwick, as it is coming up on this Friday. So I'm going to be trying my best to get that in. Now, if you don't have the money to pay for Southwick, I do recommend Kelso's E Street. That is a really good free track if you're trying to work on sand tracks, especially if you don't have the money and you're saving it for Southwick of 2025. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. The cool thing about this track is that they have a afternoon kind of rough, and then they have a morning groomed. So you can either practice with the rough, kind of situation of the track. You can do really smooth, get the hang of sand, and just work your way of keeping your momentum around. There's two different ways to do it. I'm going to be on the rough today, really trying to put in that extra work and then see what's up. Like I said, I have two different gearing, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about my suspension and what you could do to make it a little bit better and plush through the sand. So without further ado, hit that like button, subscribe button. Let's get on that freaking trackarooski. All right, so the first gear set that I'm going to use, or the gear selection, is 1352. The reason why I use this same gear set for Supercross. I found out that it is very nice in Supercross, very up close, very powerful, and can get right into the RPMs pretty quick. So I'm going to see if that relates to inside of sand riding, to where if I can get the same acceleration and enough pull without the back rear sliding. So let's go ahead and start our lap. I'll probably do like 3 laps with each gearing, and then talk about the suspension as well. But yeah, we're going to be on the 1352, seeing if we're sliding too much back rear and not getting enough grip so we can push forward. And then we'll compare the lap times or whatever it is. I don't really know if it's lap times. I feel like lap times would be it, or more or less just pushing forward. So, yeah, as we pull through, I feel like I'm connecting pretty good and keeping high RPMs. Also, with suspension-wise, the best thing I could give advice for suspension is turning your rebound down. Turning your compression and rebound down might help out big time. I know obviously you want more grip on there, so maybe your rod length, maybe change it from being fully maxed out to maybe like 2 clicks down. Always checking out your sag, making sure your sag is still around that 60 to 115, 120 area. That's going to be a huge thing as well. You just don't want to slide into these berms. Having that back end slide is probably the biggest detrimental part for you, is because if you can't connect and you're sliding in sand, then there's no grip at all, right? So you want to have that balance, so being able to get enough grip, acceleration, have the momentum to be able to keep fighting forward. If not, then you're kind of cooked. So yeah, there's a lot of things that fall into sand riding, and the better you can get at sand riding, the better you feel comfortable around regular tracks as well. I always say this: the more momentum you feel that you have around a sand track, it is going to literally relate to a regular, track that you're going to be going on in motocross. I always say that. I think it's 100% true. Sand tracks are so fun because it's all about the momentum to try to get that speed. But so far, the 1352 is feeling really good. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of tire slip on the back, but it's like nothing too crazy that I can't handle. So let's see how it's going to be through these infamous rollers here at Super Coupe. Yeah, this is also $2 on the MX Bike Shop. I will have it linked down in the description below. So huge shout out to Slaps for creating this bad boy. But yeah, it's not too. I think the last Super Coupe we had was Hearn MX. I think it was only like 2022 or something like that. So to have this is pretty nice. But we ran a 155.4. So that's with the 1352. Like I said, we'll go 2 more, see if we can clean up some of our spots. But honestly, it's kind of a night and day difference, I would say, for having the groomed and the rough track. I definitely see it. I'm not on the groomed side of things, but some of these ruts aren't that crazy. See if we can go full outside here. And our front's gonna tuck. Okay. Gotta love it, dude. That's the only sucky thing about sand, bro, is like once when you get too leaned over, it is so hard to keep your front so stable. And I think it's the perfect track for me to practice this and all that, because you're so nice big like tabletop jumps to try to keep your momentum up and learn how to keep that drive, scrub it off and all that. But then there's also these tight turns, and that's why like I'm going in tight, maybe second or first rut, to try to keep my back end from sliding out. So I don't know, it's to each their own on how you really do practice it. I know you could literally go on straight Southwick, which I do go on Southwick. But if you wanted to test, if you're getting bored of just going straight 2024 Southwick and you wanted to test some different sand tracks and try to see if your momentum kind of matches, not just off of one track, I think this is perfect. And especially Kelso's E Street, and there's multiple different sand tracks out there that will help you out big time. See if we can go middle rut, middle to middle. And I do like this hip jump right there, but I'm trying to now since like I'm already off a off lap, I'm trying to see if I can just do some different lines. We're already up 0.64 in the second sector, so that'll help out big time on timing. So we're gonna see that ideal. Nice, perfect. Try to send it. I'm gonna see if I can go to the inside here. Maybe save a little bit of time. I think that middle rut's gonna be perfect for you to still be able to drive through. And our choice of poison today is that Husqvarna 250. I don't know if I'm gonna use this. I really don't know if I'm gonna use this bike for Southwick. I don't know. It was just kind of the bike I wanted to ride, and I don't know why. Just lately, I've been just enjoying the Husqvarna all around. So whether it be motocross or that, and I feel like it's just because I came up with all the setups, all the motocross setup, so where it's like I can just use whatever bike I want. I have a pretty good setup, but I really don't know if it's going to be this, if it's going to be the Honda. The Honda is so good in sand, and then obviously we have that freaking TM that just, you know, we exposed like 2-3 weeks ago. That's really probably going to be what everybody's using if they don't ban it. So we're still using this outside. I feel like that's a lot of time kind of crunched up on, so I'm going to see if I can go for the, hopefully next time on the inside. But we're up on time, 0.2, so good scrub over the table. Try to lock that in again. Suspension wise, yeah, let's talk about a little bit about that. I said I was going to bring it up, and I haven't really said too much, I feel like. But rebound and your compression. The lower your rebound is, the less your bike kind of pops up on you. That right there helps out big time. I know I've said rod length, maybe a little bit of spring, but if you don't want drastic changes in your spring and all that to feel too bouncy, your rebound and your compression is going to help you out big time to get that forward drive. If you guys are seeing me, I'm always driving forward in sand. I'm not like bouncing up and all that when I'm trying to jump, right? There's a lot of, you can really tell the difference whether you've been get on a stock bike and do sand to being on a setup, a pretty okay setup through sand. Like you can really see the difference from sliding up, like bouncing up, not really driving forward, trying to get that grip. So there's two different ways to do it. I really don't think there's a difference in tire performance, whether you a 110 or a 100 or the tire pressure. Just like I said, it all comes down to rod length and all that stuff. Now this setup is on my YouTube. I haven't tweaked anything other than maybe just turning my rod length down. I mean, not my rod length, turning my rebound down. So I think I'm at like an 8 and 6. If you wanted to go 6 and 4, you could literally go 6 and 4, but we're at a 155.2 out of 3 laps so far. So our ideal is a 154 flat, which I'll take a 154. So let's go ahead and reset it. I'm going to go ahead and come back on the track without any of these. That way we can see what the ideal would be with this other gearing. All right, quick little snippet so we can be on the new gearing and then reset our track times. This is the 1453 gearing. Now, like I said in the beginning, the 1352 is more about acceleration, trying to get that bike up to speed quicker and all that. But what I guess when I would say, if I had to think about it, when the track deformation starts coming down, you get more and more of less grip, or I would say, I don't know, I could be wrong completely, but I feel like there's more higher acceleration with the 1352. The 1453 is more about digging into the sand and getting a little bit more power to the ground. So it really depends on what you think is going to get you to the end game, and that's why I'm here to test it on what's going to be faster for me. So yeah, we'll see this. Now 154 was the ideal. I don't know what's going to be right. I do want to try this inside if we can make it happen. Now, obviously, I'm using different lines now. We're trying different stuff, so I don't know what's going to be faster all through. So we're just going to have to bear with it. But I'm being able to go up to 4th. A lot of good dig right there. Better dig. And then we're going to do something crazy here. I want to see if it's going to work. A good scrub to the outside, to the inside. Was able to make it happen. We kind of slowed down late, but was able to get in there, get a good amount of engine braking. But boom. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, dude, the Husky just tracks through the sand so well. Also, I think the Honda does too. I'm excited to start testing on the Honda more. I feel like I haven't done too much like sand testing other than like the last day or two. Nice, good jump in. I feel like I just have more grip on the tires, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Being on there, I feel like I'm losing the acceleration speed, but I'm gaining grip. Like I'm gaining grip to get enough power to start going. I don't know. Boom, still got that jump in. Let's see what we can do on the middle rut. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, look at this drive, dude. I can't lie. I think I'm already convinced that the 1453 It's going to be the move, which we just ran a 154.6. Fastest we could have ran on the 1352 was a 155. Do I think that our what should I say, like our corner selection or our rut selection was different? Maybe just a bit in like certain small areas, but nothing like crazy, you know. So still making things happen. Perfect. I don't know if I want to go outside, but I do like this inside. This inside was good because look how much time you're saving off, especially that outside being so tricky. And I feel like I could have went inside the inside right there, or stayed completely out. But we're only down 0.3, so I'll take down 0.3 and not like a whole second down. Good scrub. See if we can just connect. I think we lost a little bit of time here when we started sliding. Exactly, we did. Perfect. And I love this line. That outside here, dude, there's just so much weird bumps, but this is like the perfect thing. Jumping into that. And we're still going to take this inside. I love it. Stay in third gear. Good amount of power. Staying low. I definitely want to come out with a video on how to do better like corner entry and tracking ruts better. And I hope to get that video out soon. I'm going to go wide this time. I feel like I could have went definitely inside, and let's see how much time we actually save here. Okay, we're up on time by like a whole second. So is the inside where we messed up? Well, no, actually, if I really think about it, no, we did mess up. We started sliding pretty hard. So maybe keeping our momentum around that whole corner. But look at us now, dude. We're already up almost 2 seconds on the 1453. So I think 1352. Let me say this first. 1352 isn't a bad gearing. That right there, I would say for Supercross, top tier. I would say for Supercross, that is a very quick accelerating gear. And that right there is going to help you out big time. For sand, though, right now, like, look how much more grip I'm having on the tires. So I think if you're going to be thinking about trying to qualify for Southwick this freaking week, 1453 might be your best friend. I could be wrong. You know, there might be some greater, better gearing out there, which by all means, go with what you think your freaking heart desires. But at least these are two options that I'm giving you. Stand up as much as you can until it comes to tight corners. Like stand up, sit down so you can get that power. Especially if you're going to get more power. I think if you're going to give a lot more power to the ground, sit down and put your weight towards the front of the bike. That's going to allow you big time, like a lot, to be able to wield this bike a little bit better. Like I'm going to just go ahead and sit down, drop down the second gear for the engine braking, and as soon as I get like halfway through that rut, I'm screaming, like pulling full trigger so I can start getting some really good power to the back of the ground. But I'm also doing that while leaning forward so I don't lose any grip or like slide out. Same thing here, sit down, and then as soon as I sit down, that's me getting back on the gas. So let go. As soon as I sit down, that's me full power back on the gas. So that's just something very small and crazy that you think is like, oh man, like it seems like so crazy now for you to do, but it's a very fun timing thing. Let's see if we can get this inside. I feel like, dude, yeah, this is definitely slower, right? It is slower. Yeah, we're already down 0.5. So that outside's definitely faster there. So maybe that definitely hurt us on our other. Definitely probably hurt us on our other ideal, but we're already at a 152.7. So I can't be mad, dude. I really can't. So overall, what we talked about today, 1352 or 1453. 1352 is definitely more accelerating, high RPMs, boom, be able to get on that ground pretty quickly. This is more about getting that power from the bike. That's about getting the power from the bike on the 1453. On top of that, we talked about suspension. Really work on your rod length. If you want to turn it down two notches, maybe try to get more grip on the back tire, you can do that. I'm still maxed out and it's working perfectly for me. Your rebound and compression on both either your front end and your back end, turn that down, and you can see yourself, instead of bouncing up trying to drive, like you can see it like through these break-it bumps and stuff, instead of bouncing up and trying to drive, you're literally staying planted and driving forward. So there's two different ways on how that goes for sure. But we're at a 152.7. I guess we'll see what our ideal is, which is a 152.4. Thank you guys for watching. This is Super Coupe MX. I have the link down in the description below for you. It is $2, but I definitely recommend it if you're going to be trying to do a little bit extra sand testing. If you don't have the money, definitely head over to Kels's East Street. That will help you out big time as well. 2 different sand tracks there as well. Other than that, you can try to practice on Southwick of 2024 until the track comes out. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and I hope these 2 different gear ends would probably help you in the future. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.